I sometimes ask successful retirees, what advice would you give to those who are nearing retirement, but they're not there yet? And then I'll often share those nuggets of wisdom and also things to avoid with people who are almost to that retirement date. But recently I came across a Business Insider article that shared what it's like to stop working and to retire. So I wanted to share with you some of the similarities between what that article says and then also what our clients have said. I'm a big believer in learning from those who are a few steps ahead of me. If you're like that too, then stay tuned so you can hear these stories. And if you like videos focused on improving your retirement, subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. The first example comes from Bill Brown, who's worried that he would go crazy in retirement if he didn't have work to go to, which is a common thought that a lot of people have. He said he spent the first few days in retirement really doing nothing, and he was perfectly okay with taking naps when he wanted and really not having anything designated for that day. But it didn't last long. Right? He needed something more, which makes sense. He started to find renewed joy in some of the hobbies and interests that he really didn't have much time for before. And after some time, he found it life-giving to actually share and start sharing some of his specialized knowledge. And he began to spend small amounts of time offering consulting to other people. And that was a great thing that brought him a lot of purpose. What he did is very similar to what I've heard from multiple clients who they've recommended. They've said, even though you have so many options available to how you can spend your time once you're retired, they say they benefited by purposefully saying no to things in the first few months, and even some saying no to things in the first year, whether it was joining boards or doing consulting work or volunteering. They purposefully slowed down and didn't say yes to any of those things. And they found a lot of benefit in that slowing down period, spending time thinking, maybe writing, praying, and then just seeing what would come from it. Then after some time, they began to add back purposeful activities back into their life. The alternative to this is filling your calendar right away after you retire and then continuing to feel that lack of time freedom that you might have felt when you were working. Now, the next example comes from Karen, who admitted she was constantly bored and looking for purpose in retirement. And that was very hard. This, as you can imagine, is also very common. The third stage of retirement is actually called disenchantment. It comes right after the honeymoon period of retirement. And this stage is where a lot of people actually fall into slight depression. So if you are in that stage, don't feel worried about it. There's ways to get through it. But it can be avoided before you even get to that third stage. There's ways to avoid that third stage. And the solution is to spend small amounts of time before you retire focused on the purpose in retirement that you're going to have. Figuring this out, really figuring out your purpose-driven retirement is the goal. People spend most of their time focused on the money part, which makes sense, the money part of retirement, but really the money part can be easy. There's only a few steps that we take to help clients feel confident about their retirement plan. The harder part is figuring out the emotional side. So I highly recommend taking small amounts of time before you retire to focus on this. I actually have a free guide that I'll link to in the description below that you can print and then you can fill it out and work through it. And it's all around finding your purpose in retirement. So look for that below. I hope you found this helpful as you think about your retirement. If you did, please like and subscribe, and then I'll see you in the next video. Take care.